Born in a small town outside of Thunder Bay, Ontario, David Tweedley grew up playing basketball, football, and track and field. His educational pathway, however, took him to Chicago, Illinois, where he attended George Williams College. Predominantly a basketball player, in 1954, David was introduced to volleyball there by a few friends who played at the varsity program, and by 1955, David was on the junior varsity team himself. In May of 1955, David was selected to manage the varsity team for George Williams that participated in the U.S. National Championships Open and Intercollegiate divisions in Oklahoma City, describing it as quite an experience for a young kid from Thunder Bay. From there, David's volleyball career really took off. From 1956 to 1958, David was selected to the varsity team. During this time, David and his teammates reached new heights, including winning the Eastern Collegiate Championships in 1956, and winning a silver and bronze in the 1957 and 1958 U.S. National Championships Open and Intercollegiate divisions. David was also selected as an All-American in 1957 for being an outstanding player in the tournament. In 1958, David graduated with his Bachelor of Science and acquired his first job in Ontario as the director for the Toronto Central YMCA. David was still a hot commodity in the sport upon his return home to Canada, and in 1959, David was invited to manage, coach, and play for Canada in the Pan American Games in Chicago. Upon his return home to Ontario, he continued to play with the Estonian and Latvian teams that practiced out of his YMCA, attending tournaments and competitions where he would receive all-star accolades. In 1963 and 1967, he was also invited to play for the Canadian team at the Pan American Cup in Brazil and Manitoba. In 1965, David would move on from the YMCA to the Balmy Beach Canoe Club, where he would be influential in the development of volleyball both indoors and on the beach. David led many Balmy Beach teams to the Indoor Canadian Championships from 1966 to 1970, taking home multiple awards, including the silver medal twice. On top of his prestigious playing career, David was appointed and served as secretary for the Canadian Volleyball Association from 1958 to 1963. In the 60s, David also assisted with the administrative development of the OVA. David's knowledge of the game made him a great referee, achieving his international level certification and officiating in many competitions at the high schools, colleges, and international events. He was also a very valuable coach as he led the Ontario junior men's team to a bronze medal at the Canadian Winter Games in 1967 and was a guest clinician at many athlete development clinics across Canada. For all that David has done in his career to advance the sport of volleyball and for representing Canada internationally, we are grateful. David passed away not too long ago in November 2021, but his legacy as a Furlani legend lives on.